Guys, how to spot a scam artist and prevent yourself from getting scammed and ripped the fuck off, okay? You need to understand the marketing techniques that scam artists use to scam you. So I'm gonna go through them all. This is gonna be a very long, in-depth video. I'm gonna go into a lot of the theory of it. Brace yourselves, and if I were you, I would take notes, right? Let's make this exciting. Okay, so first of all, I would like to say that a scam artist is somebody that uses marketing techniques that every other marketer uses. So not just scam artists, but people who are selling you products that would actually benefit you. The only difference between a scam artist and just a regular, like business owner trying to sell his product is that a scam artist is selling you something that is a bullshit product that will not benefit you in your life and will actually probably make your life worse. And you'll spend money on something that actually worsens your life in some aspect. To me, that's what a scam artist is, right? It's what are they actually offering to you and trying to get you to pay for. I'm gonna go through very classic, very powerful marketing techniques based on psychology that you have fallen for, I guarantee it, that marketers use every day and that work really, really well. And I'm getting all this information from this book titled Influence. Okay, I've been talking about this book on my Snapchat for a long time. I finally decided to sit down and do this video for you guys. It's just so exciting. This is just one of the best psychology books I have ever come across. Please, if you're even remotely interested in psychology, buy yourself a copy of this. This is an amazing book. But what I've done is I've summarized it for you guys so that you can get the information from it. So I'm gonna go through 7 powerful classic biases that you have mentally, like mental shortcuts that you have, that marketers use to their advantage in order to get you to buy their shit. Okay? So this whole book is based on the premise that all humans have mental shortcuts that they automatically use, like not even subconsciously aware that they are using these mental shortcuts. And because marketers have found out about these shortcuts, they use them for their advantage. So you just have to accept the premise that all humans use these shortcuts. Okay, every human is susceptible to it unless of course they've learned about it and they can become aware of it, and then they can start to counteract their automatic tendencies. So this is what this video is for. It's to teach you so that you become more aware so that you don't fall for some shitty sales technique, because I've fallen for quite a bit of these techniques. So let's get right into it, guys. Let's go. The first mental shortcut here is called contrast bias. So basically, when someone presents a piece of information to you, be it the price of something, maybe it's bad news, how they frame the information has a powerful effect on how you perceive that information. So a lot of retailers, they use contrast to sell stuff, like high-end retailers. So say someone goes in and buys like a $500 suit. Well, once the suit has been settled upon, once the price of the suit has been negotiated and the customer has in their mind, oh, I'm dishing out $500 for this suit, then the retailers that's when they'll start to upsell accessories that are less expensive. So they'll be like, oh, why don't you buy this watch with this suit? It'll look really good. It's only $100. Why don't you buy shoes? They're only $200. And in contrast to the price of the suit, the watch for $100 doesn't seem like all that much. So they're much more inclined to buy accessories after the price of the suit has been established. Car salesmen do this too. They'll try to sell you accessories after the price of the car has been negotiated. Yeah, you just dished out 15 grand on your Nissan Leaf or whatever the hell you're gonna buy. Why don't you buy these amazing leather covers? They're only extra 200 bucks. What's that compared to the 15 grand that you just put yourself in debt for, right? Like, I'm just kidding, you know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying. So that is contrast. That is reframing a piece of information so that you perceive it differently. Next, we have reciprocation. Reciprocation, this is one of the top ways that people get you to buy their shit. Powerful. Do not underestimate reciprocation. According to this author, there has never been a society in history that hasn't followed the rule of reciprocation. Tit for tat. You do unto me what I do unto you. And I'm sure you follow this rule as well. If someone's nice to you, you're going to be nice to them. The opposite is also true, right? This is why free samples are so successful to really reel a customer in, right? Like, I've had free samples and I liked it. I liked the product. And then I went and bought the product. So they work really well. And I just want you guys to understand just how powerful reciprocation is. And I'm going to tell you a few studies that the author uses to illustrate his point. They had this professor. He sent out random Christmas cards. Just like looked in the phone book and sent Christmas cards to random people. Lo and behold, the very next year, these random people sent Christmas cards back to him. They didn't even know who he was, complete stranger. It was like an automatic boom. Oh, I get a Christmas card? I want to send it back, right? It was like an automatic mental shortcut. Another really powerful study. This study was like shocked me. This dude, he was going around selling raffle tickets, right? Those fundraisers, 50-50 draws. And they surveyed the customers afterwards to ask how much they liked the raffle ticket seller. And they found, obviously, this is obvious, the more they liked the raffle ticket seller, the more tickets they bought, right? Pretty obvious. But what they did was they got the raffle ticket seller to start giving Cokes to potential customers. So he would approach the customer, give them a Coke, and then ask if they would like to buy raffle tickets. Even if the customers didn't like the salesman, they still bought more raffle tickets because of the Coke, because of the reciprocation. They felt indebted when this guy just gave them something and they wanted to pay him back. Do not underestimate the power of gifts. Gifts, giving shit to people will take you very far, okay? Just do random nice shit for people. You will be surprised how far that will go. Another really powerful technique that a lot of salesmen use and a lot of negotiators use is what's called the reject then retreat principle. And that means that, okay, let's say you're like in a Mexican village, okay? This is bargaining. You want to buy that nice turquoise shell necklace. Ooh, looks good. I'm gonna buy it for your mother-in-law, right? So the sales lady, the Mexican lady, starts with a retarded price, just a retarded price. Oh yeah, it's gonna cost $150, right? That's not a Mexican accent. But anyways, that's what she's saying. And you're like, no, that's like way too much money. No, I'm good. How about 75? What about that? I can pay that. She'll say, okay, $125. No, I don't want, no. How about 100? And then she will concede. She will accept your proposal. But before this whole transaction even occurred, she had it in her mind that she was going to sell the necklace for $100 in the first place. And what she did was she just made a ridiculous proposal and made it look as if she was conceding, they call it, that she was sacrificing or compromising so that you would compromise. That's reciprocation, compromise for a compromise. And she really got what she had wanted all along. Lots of people do this. Lots of people. It's actually a good way to ask for a raise. You can go to your boss and you say, I want an extra $10 an hour, when really you want $5 an hour. But you start with the 10 and make it look as if you're making a compromise. Your boss is more likely to actually give you your $5 an hour, right? Here's another simple example. You don't just have to go with money. You can use things. The author uses another example. He says, a Boy Scout came up to me and he tried to sell me raffle tickets, right? $5 for one raffle ticket. Well, I don't want a raffle ticket, Johnny. And Johnny goes, well, I do have chocolate bars though, and they're only $1. Why don't you get a chocolate bar if you don't want raffle tickets? Okay, Johnny, yeah, I'll get a chocolate bar. Right? He's compromising, so you compromise. It works very, very well. I invite you to experiment with this as well on yourself, and now you know this technique and you'll be able to identify it if someone acts like they're making a compromise. Next mental shortcut is called commitment bias, commitment and consistency. So when people make up their mind and they invest in a belief, particularly a belief about how they perceive themselves. I am a vegan. I am an animal rights activist. Something to do with their identity, they are very, very difficult to dissuade. So marketers realize that they can use the commitment to their advantage. Okay, here's an example. This dude, he was trying to get volunteers for the American Cancer Society. So what he did was he found an entire neighborhood and surveyed them about their morality. Okay, and he asked, well, how likely are you to volunteer if a nonprofit organization called you and asked, right? And because these people didn't want to look like selfish, they're like, I would totally volunteer. Yeah, I am so charitable. And then 3 days later, that's when he actually called everyone from the American Cancer Society to ask if they wanted to volunteer. And because the previous 3 days before they had made a commitment to what they said, yes, I'm the type of person that would volunteer for charity. They had a 700% increase in the amount of volunteers they were able to recruit, right? That's all because of the commitment bias. And you will see this a lot of the time when people are trying to pitch something to you, okay? What they'll do is they will kind of bash a group of people. They'll be like, the masses, the average people, most of the people out there, they don't want to revolutionize their life. They don't want to rise up, you know, but you're not like that. You're not that type of person, right? You're the type of person that's smart and that wants to revolutionize your life and that wants to make a change. You are special. Something along those lines, right? They'll go on in this sort of gist of what they're saying, and then that's when they'll pitch into their product. Because you're a special type of person, you need this product because this product will enable you to meet your self-perception of yourself. Basically, that's what they're saying. Just notice that. Notice when someone's trying to pitch something and they single you out, and they single you out from a crowd that is sort of portrayed in a negative light and saying you're not like that. That is a sales technique. Another awesome sales technique, marketing technique that has to do with the commitment bias is called lowballing. You will see this all the time in the car dealership industry. What they'll do is they will negotiate a really good deal for you with a car that's probably like $500 or so less than the actual market price of that car. You'll notice that it's a very good bargain deal, right, compared to all the other competitors in your area. And so you'll commit to that decision to buy that vehicle. And the car dealership will make a big scene about the purchase, and they'll get you to fill out purchase forms. They'll let you use the car for a couple days so that you can, get used to the car and get a feel for the car before you actually make the purchase, right? And then right before the deal is about to go down, they'll pull the plug and they'll say, oh, there was an error in our calculation of our price here. Or they'll say, oh, my boss said I can't sell you the car for this much money because we'd be losing money. That doesn't work all the time, this lowballing technique, but it works. It works quite a bit of the time, enough so that they train their salesmen to use this technique. That's lowballing. And if you ever go to buy a car or anything else and you see you come to a deal, you commit to buy the thing, you have it in your mind that you're gonna buy this product, okay? Like in your reality, you've kind of already bought it. The whole point of it was to get you to get into that mindset, because once you're in that mindset of I've already purchased this, it's much more difficult to walk away from a deal. You've already invested into it. That is the whole purpose of lowballing, and it works. Next is social proof. This is another mental shortcut. The more people are doing something or buying into something, the more likely you are going to. And don't think that you are not susceptible to this, because you are. And it's because in evolution, for the most part, if most people are doing something, it's usually the right thing to do, right? Usually this mental shortcut will serve you well. 95% of people are imitators and 5% are initiators. So realize the power of social proof of numbers. So you'll notice a lot of people who are trying to sell you things will mention how many customers they have. They'll mention how big their audience is. That's why books put bestseller on their cover. Look at all the other people that liked this book. Just beware that you are very prone to follow the crowd. I am very prone to follow the crowd. Just beware that this is also a mental shortcut. Next is liking. Right? You're much more likely to purchase something from someone that you like, from your friends. This is why the Tupperware marketing framework or scheme of having little Tupperware parties and buying from all your neighborhood lady friends, okay, buying a Tupperware set works so well. It's because you want to buy for your friends. You want to show your friend that you're a good friend by supporting them in this Tupperware endeavor. Right, I've done that. I've gone to passion parties. I've bought shit at candle parties that I don't need a candle. I bought it because my friend was selling it to me, right? So I'm sure you all understand this. Now that we know, how do you get people to like you more? What are the factors that make up someone liking you, right? Wouldn't it be cool to know? I'll tell you right now. Oh yeah. So the first one is if you're hot. If you're good looking, you have a hell of an advantage socially. It's called a halo effect. When people think you are hot, they think you're smarter, they think you're more talented, they think you're more honest. They attribute all of these positive characteristics based on your one characteristic, which is you're attractive. So just be aware of that if you are good looking, just play it up to your advantage. Because might as well, if you have it, use it. And also realize that you are more likely to do favors for good-looking people. You are more likely to like good-looking people. You are just susceptible to this halo effect as everybody else. Good-looking candidates in politics get more votes. And that's just always how it's been. They did a study about it in Canada, and it's true. It's because they were better looking. And people aren't even consciously aware that that's why they like that candidate more. It's completely subconscious. Just be aware of it. Another thing that makes people like you is similarity. When they can relate to you. When they feel like they're the same type of person as you. Salesmen, again, will use this technique. They'll make it seem as if they have the same background as you and the same interests. Oh yeah, I like golfing too, bro. Oh, did you see that hockey game last night? Blah, blah, blah. Like, they'll just fake it. They'll just fake that they're the same as you because you will automatically like them more. And you know it's true, right? I like people that are like me. Another big one is compliments. People love compliments. They just bask that shit up. Okay, and this is the funny part. It doesn't even matter if the compliments are true or not. They can be completely false, and people like them just as much as if they were genuinely complimented. They don't care. They just like to be complimented. So, of course, you can go overboard with this and just look like a total fake, like if you're just kissing someone's ass. But you can use compliments quite a bit and be savvy about it. Just be aware that when someone over compliments you or uses praise, be aware that they might know about this technique as well. And also association. A lot of marketers use celebrities to endorse their product, and they're using the power of association and the power of liking in order to get customers to perceive that product in a different way because this celebrity is endorsing it. right? It really does work for someone to reframe how they see a product if they know that someone they admire is supporting it and using it. Be aware that this is a very powerful marketing technique as well, is using celebrities and people with audiences to endorse products. Next is authority. Authority goes a long motherfucking way. Titles, doctors, professors, experts. We are way more likely to take what they have to say at face value and question it less because of their title. And for the most part, it does serve us well because usually doctors know what they're talking about. Usually, that's the case, right? That is what they went to school for 11 years for. Also, how people dress has a big impact on how we perceive them. Uniforms, okay? Dressing up like a policeman. Suits also are very, we are very susceptible to suits and uniforms. Expensive cars. For some reason, we are a lot more respectful towards people who own expensive cars, right? They did a study and they found that people who an expensive car that was stopped at a green light, basically nobody honked at this car. They just waited till the car decided to go. Whereas if it was just like some basic car like Sunfire or something, they honked no problem. But when it was an expensive car, they shut their ass up. Just realize you are susceptible to authority. And the author was saying that a good way to not fall prey to it, if it's gonna harm you, is to ask, is this person truly an expert? Right, always ask, is that person really an expert? Because just because they're dressed a certain way might not necessarily mean they actually are who they dress like they are, right? Also, you can ask, how truthful can we expect the expert to be here? So you can ask, is there anybody funding this expert? Where is this expert's motivations coming from? Right? Ask questions like that if you're unsure. And then the last cognitive shortcut is scarcity. Scarcity is so mofo powerful, such a powerful shortcut. Be very careful with it because it draws a lot on your emotions. And our emotions are what drive our behavior. Thought of losing out on something is incredibly powerful, more powerful than the benefit of gaining. We do not like to lose. We are wired to hoard. We are wired to be greedy. And if you think back, a lot of the time you will notice that you bought something, not because you needed it, but because it had some kind of aspect of scarcity around it that prompted you to make like an impulse decision to buy it. So for instance, it's an exclusive item, limited edition. It was on sale. It was at a really good price, really good deal. And the sale of that was what was scarce about it. Doesn't necessarily mean that you needed it. I've bought shit that was on sale that I wouldn't have bought otherwise, but I just did because it was on sale. That's why sales work so damn well. Didn't need those Dunkaroos. And what really amps scarcity up, I'm talking like scarcity on steroids over here, is competition. The awareness that others want this scarce resource too and that you are competing with them. That really fucks shit up. Black Friday. There's a classic example of scarcity with a hell of a lot of competition, and you see how that turns out. Makes people do retarded shit. Auctions. Auctions work really well to get people to overpay for a lot of shit. And it's because auction presents something, it's a limited thing, like it's only one thing that everybody can get, it's unique, limited, and there's a whole lot of competition that wants that too, right? So a lot of the times auctions cash the fuck in. Also, I'll give you an example. The author talks about his brother who made some money this way. What he would do is he would buy a broke down car and fix it up, revamp it, and then put it on the market as a used car, okay? And he would give it like a fair price, but where he was making a profit. And what he would do is he would set up times for people to come. But clever guy, what he did was he set up the same time for everyone to come. Okay, so one customer would pull up, yeah man, come check my car out. While this guy was checking out the car, another customer would pull up. And then he'd be kind of lurking in the background, you know, like, I want to buy that car too. And then another one will pull up, and the pressure would be on. And it worked. This dude always got a sale for the price that he wanted because of the way he sold the car in the framework of scarcity and high competition. Amazing. So these are the biases that you guys should know. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. And I really recommend that you memorize it and that you know, so that when someone is trying to approach you or trying to sell you something, you are on to them. You know their game. If you really want to know, pick up the book, read. Hope you guys enjoyed this information. Sorry it was so long. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.